Today I'm ready to conquer the world. Oh wait, it's a Monday. It's fine, I'll take my camera with me and I'll photograph after work. Shit. I'll just buy a coffee. I'll just hop on the next train. Wow, work was exhausting. Oh man, is the sun really setting down? It's fine, I'll just photograph tomorrow. But you don't have to, because focal lengths aren't just numbers. Make sure to stick for number 3 because it's really surprising what we can learn from athletes. Yeah, photographers learning from athletes. We usually associate focal lengths with places or with our preferred preference. For tight places, you would use a wider lens. For far away places, you would use a longer focal length. Or if you just prefer a specific focal length, I prefer 35mm for example, you would just use that. But that would hinder your progress because it would mean you will rely on that specific focal length for that specific location. For example, if I'm not in the mood, then usually I don't want to go out photographing because I usually distance myself from people and I'm not feeling like it. So if I just tie myself to 35mm, then I'm screwed. I don't want to go out and photograph people. 35mm is pretty close. But if, for example, I would opt in for a longer focal length, 42.5mm, even if I go and photograph a wide place like a market, then it would be the difference between staying at home and not doing anything and going out there and photographing. So ask yourself next time what focal length you want to photograph with, and don't just tie it into a place or your preferred preference, but also to your mood. And if you're enjoying the video so far, give it a like, it means a lot to me. And the next one is about photographing with your eyes. I'm guilty. I photographed for social likes and tweaked my Instagram feed for more people to come in. And we've all done that, we've all been guilty of that, but it's not a bad thing. We all want to be seen and heard. But don't make the mistake of not photographing something because you're not sure how it would perform on social media. The opposite. Photograph what you like. If something looks cool to you, just photograph it. Remember, you don't have to share it. If you just shed off the idea of I have to share this or I have to photograph this because it would look cool on my feed, don't. Photograph with your eyes means flowing with your creativity. Remember, the camera is just an extension of your mind. You're imagining what you want to see and your camera just captures this frame in time. So the next time you will see something cool, just photograph it. Let the creativity flow within you. This is how we train ourselves and this is how we develop our own voice. Don't let social media dictate it for you. This is just the first step out of a 5-step PDF guide I've created completely for free for you to develop your creative voice. And it uses principles and my own approach for photography, which is more holistic and more philosophic in how you can develop yourself, and it's endless. You can develop yourself endlessly. So you can get it down in the description below once you leave your email. The next one, the last one, is a surprising one because we can actually learn a lot from athletes. Usain Bolt is a 100-meter runner champion which broke multiple world records. Hopefully I'm not butchering his name. But he couldn't have done it without this specific thing. And I'm not talking about putting hard work because that's an advice everybody gives. No, I'm actually talking about warming up. It might sound weird for us photographers, but I'm not talking about warming up your body. I'm actually talking about warming up your mind. You see, I usually don't photograph each and every day, and I think most of us don't because we have jobs, we have more obligations, and life in general. So we probably photograph once in a while, and just like training your muscles once in a while, you oftentimes forget what happens and you need to warm up your muscles so you won't get a shock. Well, you can't really get a shock with your mind, but you do get lost a bit. At least I get lost when I start photographing when I haven't photographed in a while. So what warming up means is just pull up your camera and photograph whatever. Photograph even if you don't feel like photographing. Photograph even if it doesn't excite you. Just photograph everything you see. Remember, our cameras are digital. We don't, hopefully you're not using film, you know, because then it would cost a lot. But if your camera is digital, then the photos don't go to waste and you don't have to look at them. What would happen, what always happens to me after a while, is that I start understanding what I'm photographing, and then I sort of get a click in my mind and I just photograph whatever I want and I get good photographs. But of course it takes time and it varies between person to person. Some people won't even need a warm-up, some people would need a long warm-up. Also depends on the place and how boring it is. I know I'm usually photographing in the same city and oftentimes the places are boring, so it takes time for me. Unlike a usual warm-up, when you have an end to it, you won't have an end to your warm-up of photography. Well, not literally, you won't really know when to put a stop, but you'll feel it. And even if you won't feel it, at a certain point you'll feel that click, you'll start photographing, you'll start liking your photographs. This is when the warm-up is complete. And I suggest everybody do it because we always have high expectations of ourselves in our photographs, but if we just tell ourselves that this is just a warm-up, it's fine, I'm just photographing to warm myself up, then I won't have any problem with my shitty photos. Remember, these are just warm-up photos. And this is what I usually do when I do street photography, and it works every single time. So if you like this video, you can also check the previous one in this series of photolosophy, which means the philosophy of photography, in which I'm talking about the art of missed focus, because you can actually miss focus. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!